Today, I want to talk about The Matrix and the main goal behind it. So, The Matrix is basically just a bunch of distractions put together to keep you in fear, have you at a low vibration, and always keep you just on edge about things and never really sure, and basically just put you in a state of confusion. So these can be things like jobs, the news, school, social media, celebrities, and like stories on the news about celebrities. It all just basically intertwines, right? So this happens because they literally just do not want you to wake up to what's really going on, and it's all a spiritual thing first. It's all a spiritual thing first because they don't want you to truly wake up and see that what you've been taught ever since you can remember has been a lie. And, it's sad, but it's the truth. And, they like to sugarcoat and cover up things. And it's just people, thankfully this year, are starting to actually uncover this. Like the doctors on what's going on now in the world with the virus are actually coming out and exposing things about faking the death certificates and the bricks being planted at the riots and stuff like that. It's like, those type of distractions. It's all ritual. It's all planned, and it's like how people always wonder, how do the Simpsons predict the future? I know a lot of people have seen that, and the truth is they really don't. It's just all programming. It's all what's going to unfold. So basically there's just a bunch of things that the higher-ups, the elites, the government, whatever you want to call them, know that is going to happen. And just to tease people, just poke at us, basically. They'll throw that in TV shows. And it's not just The Simpsons. I mean, it's many others. This is just a series of distractions that keep you in fear, to basically lead you to a place that's going to nowhere. It's going nowhere positive. It's not going to serve you any good. And why they're doing that is because they don't want you to wake up to the truth. They don't want you to wake up to this truth. That is, they want, and I know this is going to sound, because I'm about to give you the deep meaning of why they do all this. This is going to sound bizarre to many. But if you've, been on this knowledge or been in the conscious community, the spiritual community for a little bit, you probably know what I'm talking about, which is basically they distract you for lifetimes, right? So you may have lived a life before this, and you feel like you have, right? You feel like you've lived this life a while, like you get deja vu. That is most likely from another lifetime. Believe it or not, that's actually most likely from another lifetime. Deja vu. So, why you keep coming back is because the plan, the major scheme, the major, play, this whole world is a play. It's a whole scheme, and it's so elaborate that it goes so deep that they know that if they can distract you for one lifetime, that you will have to come back because you're not doing anything positive for the world. You just stay in fear, you stay distracted, you stay caught up in the simulation that they put you in, which is, jobs, school, watching watching the news or TV shows, period, just anything that doesn't serve you, that doesn't benefit you, pretty much, that doesn't, isn't in the greater good. And, it's really nobody's fault. It's just like, everybody's blind to it because that's all, from birth. And it's so sick because, they know this, that if they can distract you in your lifetime, then you will have to come back and do the whole thing all over again. And you'll still be in the matrix. You'll still be distracted unless you live enough lives that you can actually start to say, hey, this seems all too familiar. This is kind of feeling like a game at this point. And you start exploring and exploring. This is what happened to me, because I feel like I've lived, I don't know how many lives, but I definitely feel like I've lived before. And me and my friend were talking about this the other day. So, and they keep you at this vicious cycle of distracting you for however many lifetimes. And then, basically, if you do not question, if you do not sit there and really try to put the dots together, even if you overthink, there's a negative connotation on overthinking, but if you actually sit there and try to be like, so, for instance, right, sit there and put the dots together on this. So they're going to talk about a virus, a pandemic. But there's riots. I mean, come on. Seriously. And then they want to talk about quarantine, right? Let's put some more dots together. The quarantine is for the sick. The quarantine is for the sick. Like, that, I mean, that should have just been the obvious sign. And people don't, even if it's something as simple as those two things I just said, it's like those should be the first couple of questions you ask about what's going on in the world today. But people are, like I said, distracted. So what do? They sit on their phones, on social media, just absorbing the negativity, gosh, I can't speak, from the media, from just everything going on. Right? And they just allow it to cycle and keep going. So people get conditioned. So this is where the ruthlessness really comes in the cycle. So they allow themselves to get conditioned to that. They get comfortable just, on social media, this and that, distractions, because they're so conditioned to it. They're brainwashed. They're literally brainwashed, right? So they go through their whole life like that, die, not doing anything positive, not actually going out trying to better themselves, strive for any goals, anything. They got to come back here. They got to come back, live it again, try to, come and do what they came here to do. Serve their purpose, help others. But the way in which you do that is all different. So it's a vicious cycle, and there's some dark stuff that go into it, and they know if they can keep you in the cycle of distraction, you're gonna keep having to come back here. So they don't want you to ascend. They don't want you to ascend. They don't want you to level up in consciousness. Same thing. They don't want you to question, because they know if people question and go further, then most of the times it's game over. They keep you in a reincarnation soul trap. That's literally what it is. Keep you distracted for your whole life. Give you these false beliefs of freedom, and you're just in a safety net. You're in a fake safety net. You're in a false belief that you tell yourself every day. And that is why people get depressed from social media, from, well, media in general, from all that goes on. That's why people, you know, they get all down about what goes on in the world and what they see, and that's why they compare themselves to others that are like, have money. They don't want to go out and get it because they're so conditioned, and it's sad, and it's not their fault. You just gotta learn. I believe one day people will wake up, maybe not all, but most, and just say, hey, like, we've been in this for too long. It's actually time to do something. Because right now, all this is going on to just sucker people into a soul trap, which is keeping you to come back here, live pretty much the same way you did before, and just keep that vicious cycle going until in one of your lives you have that one day where you start to really question. You go into it, you find out all this information, and then your whole life is like into that, because that's what a lot of people do. Their whole life goes into trying to find this truth, now that they know that everything they have been taught has been a lie, and the principles and beliefs and the false teachings that they've grown up on and hearing and all this have been a lie. The things that they have done for most of their lives has been a lie. And it's sad, but I believe everybody will get that chance, honestly. You know, I believe everybody will get their chance, whether it's this life, the next, or, you know, whatever life. I believe everybody will be able to ascend and raise their consciousness to the degree they want. But you have to question and not let yourself get suckered and programmed into the simulation. So that was just a video. I know it was long. I just like to talk about this stuff because I think it's what people need to know, and stop kidding themselves. That's the main thing. People kid themselves about a lot of this stuff, you know, like. So that was a video on the Matrix and its main goal. Thanks for watching. I'm out.